about. Trying to figure out what it's all about. Existentialist. Am I worth anything or just discount? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Spending time all alone, sending my songs to the phone, dreaming of a better home, we while focused on trying to hone this craft, witchcraft. I hope the brujas let this last. I don't know.
That was the great sounds of Watson with Outside on WNHH-LP 103.5 FM New Haven. Myself, Prestige, with my partner in crime, Long Island Rays, Elm City Made, EZ Bluez is in the building. Easy. Who do we have with us today? Since you're better with introductions, if I can barely speak, me on Behind the Brand. Go right ahead.
First of all, let me take off this brand new mask that I just got from Susan, our Monday's guest, awesome. Coffee Moth podcast. So thank you, Susan. And if you like those, make sure you hit her up, all right? But besides that, that's not what we're here to talk about. We are here to talk about today someone who is an absolute amazing human being, was an amazing human being before I even knew this incredible, creative, imaginative side. This is somebody who likes to jump inside of a character that brings your heart and your soul and gives you that little bit of nostalgia. Someone who really brings forth the energy, rocking an absolutely, like came in character to this interview. Put your hands together, not if you're driving. If you're driving, you keep your hands on 10 and 2 because it's about safety. So put your hands together for an amazing human being, Jasmine Hayes. How are you? How you been? I haven't seen you since you were behind the counter at a bakery.
I am so good. Glad to not be behind that counter right now.
I know nothing.
Oh my goodness. Thank you guys for having me up here. Like This is my first cosplay interview, so I'm super excited.
Definitely. We're happy to have you on. I mean, we've been friends, all three of us, for a very long time, so it's absolutely just a no-brainer. We should have had you on very sooner on this program.
Yeah.
But I forgot you two worked together.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Back in the day,
and we were two of the people that actually liked each other and talked. So it was actually. I go downstairs and be like, oh word. Now I gotta get my coffee and not be silent. Hi, how are you? Dropping secrets, industry secrets.
Right. If you know, you know.
Yeah, if you know, you know. Definitely. I'm not saying we worked in hell. I'm just saying it's not where we worked.
We vacationed there.
we vacationed there.
I don't want to bring any bad memories or any toxic memories. I'm glad you guys have good memories with each other, but let's talk about the whole product at hand. Jasmine, you are a cosplayer. So let's just start with just a blunt question. What made you discover cosplaying? What made you want to do
this? Wait, pause.
Yeah.
You're jumping a question.
I'm jumping a question.
You are, because you're thinking that our average listener at home, great grandma Betty.
Right.
She knows what cosplay is.
Okay.
So why don't you first explain exactly what cosplay is? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I worry about great grandma Betty.
That's fine.
Great grandma Betty's important.
I do understand.
So basically, cosplay is costume play. So any character that you want to dress up as, portray, act as, you will put on of course, the clothes, and you might go to a convention, you might do it at home, you might do it at a park, you might just do it for pictures, but you embody that character that you love from whatever show it could be, most of the time it's anime or comic book related, but it could definitely be movies, TV shows, video games, what have you. So that's pretty much what it is. It's a lot of fun. It's I don't know, people do it in their downtime, people do it for full-time work. It's great. You can have jobs, going to birthday parties for kids, and it's a lot of fun. I definitely enjoy doing it, and it definitely helps bring out creative sides of you that you never thought you had.
And it can really be a great confidence booster. Am I right?
Yes, definitely.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, tell me, what was your first cosplay, Jasmine?
Oh, okay. I'm gonna give you like two because it's like weird.
Go right ahead.
So unofficially, I want to say my first cosplay was Minnie Mouse when I was like 4 years old.
Okay, well played.
To have the pictures, I'll post them on my Facebook probably later. I begged. This is when I think I had like a cosplayer mentality. So I begged my grandmother to make me a Minnie Mouse costume, and I told her it wouldn't be complete if I didn't have a Mickey. So my friend's mom had to make him Mickey Mouse to match me because I was so hell bent on this costume. I don't know why, but I was. So that was at 4. But I think the first time I actually cosplayed was for Halloween. I really didn't want to be like the typical maid, bunny, cat that girls normally are for Halloweens. So I dressed up as Sailor Moon. And the amount of people that came to me at this party, it was just like, oh my God, like I haven't seen you since I was a kid. I'm so happy. Like it just brings people joy. And I'm just like, oh, I'm glad you like it. Like I wanted to make myself happy and like be something that I thought nobody was gonna think of, or someone who I loved growing up. So that was my first time. I want to say that was about years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's big. And Sailor Moon's one of your favorite animes, am I right?
Definitely one of my favorite animes.
But I think one of the great things about you, Jasmine, because I always see you post a whole bunch of stuff online, and then your following is just getting huge. I see you going to all these conventions and these group settings as well too. There's like a whole big community back in the day, and it's just great to see. And I think people are more open now when it comes to cosplay back than it was 10 or probably 12 years. I mean, we're around the same age, Jasmine, you know, in our early 30s. But like back in high school, like in the early thousands, nobody was really expressing it, especially when it comes to people of color. When it comes to the whole cosplay scene, it was very limited. Now it's just whole expansive and it's completely diverse. Of really great to see. Now, is it great to see that change just throughout this whole entire process? Just tell me about that whole transition. Great.
It definitely warms my heart to see it because when I was younger, at least in Connecticut, I didn't really see a lot of my peers cosplaying at all. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think the first time I saw it, I went to Terrificon, I believe it is, and the Mohegan Sun. And that was a while. That was me like 8 years ago. And that was my first time like actually seeing cosplayers like in person, like besides just on like Facebook. And I was just like, wow, this is really dope. Like I want to do this. Like they have a parade. Like I want to be in the parade. So I was excited. I was excited to see that. So definitely this new wave of like young weebs and anime nerds and comic book nerds that are just like taking over, and they're like, I don't care. You make fun of me. I don't care if you think I'm weird. I don't care if you think I'm different. I'm cosplaying. I like it, and this is what I'm gonna do. And I like this new attitude because I think with our generation we were kind of like, we like it, but we're just gonna talk about it with one another, not everybody else.
It really was. It was so secretive, and you really felt ashamed if you were just really open about it. I mean, because not too many people, like, everybody's different. You know, I'm just trying to stop, you know, as Easy loves to call me, which I used to call myself back in the day. I'm trying to get out that mental transition of me being a bald-headed, mumbling genius. But I'm trying to space my words out so I can become a better human being. But a lot of people didn't want to open up and express their true selves when it was back in the day. Now it's just insane and it's crazy. But I really want to talk about that, especially when it comes to Black cosplay, Jasmine. How did you connect? How did you network? I know you told me, and you told myself and E back then in Terrificon, and you first time seeing everybody. But how did you really connect, especially with the Black community in the cosplay? Videos, I see all the TikToks, and it's really big group that you're a part of. Please explain.
I want to say, let me see. So with Terrificon, I don't think I really connected with anybody. I think I was too busy running around I met like the creator of Ren and Stimpy and like one of the actors from the Goonies. So I was kind of like doing that thing.
You were a kid in a candy store. I get it.
Yeah, like I just couldn't contain myself. But I think when I really started connecting to them was to the what they call the blur community, the Black nerds. Right. I was at Anime NYC in New York, which is still a fairly new con, but it's mainly based on anime, which is what I normally love. I love comic book too, but my heart is in anime. So I was like, let me go to this convention and see. And let me see, I want to say the Friday I was Lord Shishomaru from Inuyasha. And I had so many, first of all, the Asian people loved me, which was like a compliment. and then like I had like a bunch of blurs run up to me like, oh my God, I love Lord Shishomaru. Like I love Inuyasha. Like we have to take pictures. We have to get Instagrams. And I'm like, oh, okay. So like, that's kind of how I like started connecting with them, like through Instagram, meeting them at the convention. A few of them ended up following me on TikTok. When I made TikTok, I'm kind of late to the TikTok game. My TikTok's not even a year old yet. So yeah, they are very supportive. And like, once you follow one, others kind of trickle in. And then like these nerd pages would like share my cosplay. So then I got more. Eventually one kid, his name is DC VR Blurred on Instagram, he reached out to me and was like, oh, hey, like, you know, we're into the same things. I have this like group chat full of like all people of color cosplayers. Like, do you want to join? Because we're supposed to do like a brunch thing. Like, we're supposed to like be a family and get together. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And they're like, we're doing this little, what they call the toilet paper challenge. And they're like, you should be in it. Because this was right at the beginning of the pandemic where everybody was buying up all the toilet paper. So we made a joke in cosplay and like passed toilet paper to each other, and instead of passing the brush, was what everybody I think they do, pass the brush challenges.
Right.
So that group consists of a lot of tri-state area cosplayers and a lot of DMV cosplayers. So I end up getting a small family from them, and we do a lot of projects together. We plan on meeting up at cons when the cons open back up together. So that's kind of how I got into the Blur community, and they're all really supportive. They share you and everything, so it's pretty good.
Oh, it's really great to see. It's definitely great to see. Now, what I really want to know is just the time and effort that it really takes to make the costume when it comes to doing what you do. Because I imagine, because I've seen.
I take my glass off it.
Because I've seen like little Instagram stories that you put in, and just the time and effort what it takes just to sew the costume, and the amount of money you put in and hours just for those reactions that you get when you go to those conventions. Post that video up on the internet. And I just want to know, just tell me just a little bit when it comes to the budgeting and time. Just go right ahead.
Okay, so I would say as a cosplayer, it is very expensive.
Yeah.
However, your best bet is to make your own cosplay if you can, or make a prop if you can. That's a lot cheaper to buy materials than it is just to buy the cosplay. If you go on any cosplay website, a cosplay can easily run you anywhere between $100 to like $200 and something, depending on the cosplay. If you want something really extravagant, it might be $500 or $1,000, especially the comic book ones because they're more intricate. Yeah. But I would definitely recommend making them. A lot of the giant ones you might see at conventions, people normally make, but it depends. Something like this would be probably like, if I spent a lot of time of it outside of work, probably about 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. Just as far as sewing and like time and things like that. But like, I have one that I've been working on since April of last year that's still not finished. So. I'll talk about that one a little later, but props can take me about a week. I'll actually grab something real fast.
Okay. I'm kind of interested to see this, Easy.
Of course. No, this stuff is absolutely amazing. And just so the listening audience knows while we wait, how incredible this community is online. When we made the post about this interview, yes, Jasmine shared it, but her community shared that on so many different stories. It was actually one of our most promoted online shows beyond just us and the person we're talking to. So yeah, I just want the audience at home to know that this stretches really far. Thank you.
Yeah, they're very supportive. I love them. I made this with a friend of mine. He has like an airbrush machine and he has like a couple of tools. So I always kind of go over there. We kind of just make props together. So me and him combined, we made this in about a week. So this is it's a sword from Demon Slayer. The character's name is Mitsuri. You'll see her on my page. I cosplay her. I'll post more of her soon, but season 2 is coming out soon, so I'll post more of her soon. The movie just like did crazy numbers in the movie theater in Japan and then here a couple weeks ago. So this took about a week. Not too bad. Regular size sword, all plastic, EVA foam, little warbler, just to like hold things together. Warbler is like a thermoplastic that you can heat up and mold. So it's pretty cool. This is super girly. That character is super girly, has hearts on her sword. So yeah, props. I would definitely say, definitely make it on your own. Get you a Joann's Fabric membership. Get all the coupons you need. It's definitely cheaper because that would have been that online. I saw it for $200.
Wow.
But that material wise cost me about $35.
Right.
It's all where your mind takes it. I mean, it's one of those things where you really have to know your value when it comes to cosplay. Especially when I think you told us that you working on something since April of last year. You said, oh my God, it's gonna probably come out amazing when the conventions start coming out. Did you have a little cabin fever? If I can barely speak, when the lockdown happened, especially when it comes just showing off different costumes.
Oh man, I felt like right when I reached my peak within getting this community, that's when like Corona happened, and I'm like, no, like I want to go outside, I want to go to conventions, I want to see my friends. Like it was very hard for all of us. Like we would talk about it all the time. We'll be like, we're gonna spend this whole quarantine just making cosplay so that when the conventions come back, we can just pop them out and we're not what they call con crunching, like waiting until the last minute to try to slap together a cosplay. So yeah, we're all kind of like feeling it. So during this quarantine, we did what I named it a social distance shoot. So again, I have people from the DMV area and people from the tri-state area. So being that I'm in the tri-state, we were like, okay, cool. Let's all take pictures and we're gonna kind of Photoshop them together as if we were together. And then the DMV people met up together, considering it was like less than 7 people and they were all masked up and stuff. And then the people in the tri-state kind of met up together. So it was a lot easier for us to do it that way. And that was fun seeing everybody, even though, we still had to like kind of stay away from each other, couldn't really hug or anything, but it was fun. We ended up going to this really cool ramen place after. It was like an anime themed ramen place in New Jersey called Ryaki. They have about 3 locations in New Jersey, if I'm not mistaken, a new one in Philly. You can go, there's giant murals of anime characters on the wall. So that was super fun. That was the only time I got to see my friends in like a year and a half. So yeah, it's been really hard for us. We're still like, we need to go. There's only one convention like completely confirmed for this year so far. So
okay. All right. Okay. It's really good to know on WNHHLP 103.5 FM New Haven, myself, Prestige, and my partner in crime, Long Island Rays, Elm City Made, EZ in the building. We got cosplayer Empress Jasmine with us on Behind the Brand. And Jasmine, do you prefer photo shoots at cons or specific locations?
I want to say I prefer them at specific locations.
Okay.
At cons, you do get really dope pictures because you get a lot of photographers that just come in, want to take pictures of you, and then they give you the card and you get the pictures later. But some conventions have really pretty sites where you can take pictures at, but I feel like if you go to a specific location, then you're like, it's endless. Like you don't have like, you're not just in this little box of where you can go. The shoot we did in New Jersey was at what's it called? They call it the Cherry Blossom Park. It takes over about 2 cities in New Jersey, and it's literally like 15 miles long of just cherry blossoms in all different colors. So that was fun. We got to like just bounce around there and have a lot of fun. So I think I like location shoots a little better than I like convention shoots.
Now, yeah, my light bulb popped up. Well, just so the audience who's really just meeting you for the first time understands, you also have a modeling background as well. So that plays a little bit into it as well. There's that comfortability of going to a setup spot. You know, like I know for me, I'm comfortable in the studio, but I'm more comfortable on stage. You know, and like for other people, they might not be comfortable in that situation, but because you have this amazing modeling background, and you also have a little bit of a costuming background as well, with some of, you know, the things in which you celebrate, I follow you. You know, and I know that, you know, this was a tough season in dealing with Carnival and stuff like that as well. So I know, but we're talking about the good things and how and when you start to piece together your story, it's amazing to see the transition, but it's also makes complete and total sense. If that, you know, knowing that you have the modeling background, knowing that you have the costuming with Carnival background, and you have that performance type of background, going and doing this is like a perfect fit. It's like kind of what you were made to do, and I think that's awesome that you found that.
Yeah, it makes total sense. I'm surprised I didn't do it a lot sooner. Especially, being that I do go to Caribbean carnivals, like I try to tie that in with cosplay as well. Like I do Princess Serenity from Sailor Moon, and I use carnival wings for her queen wings that she has when she's Neo Queen Serenity. So I do try to tie them in together, try to tie my culture into cosplay, which I think is cool. I've seen a few other girls do that. I think I've seen like a Disney princess carnival theme one time at a convention. That was pretty cool. But yeah, definitely, I think my modeling background makes me more like comfortable doing like location shoots as far as conventions. I do like the meetups at conventions. Sometimes they'll have like meetup photo shoots where like if they like I'm Dragon Ball Z today, they'll have like, oh, Saturday we're meeting up as Dragon Ball Z, and they're like the hundreds of people and different Dragon Ball Z characters. And then that shoot to me is always like perfect, because then you get pictures with every single body you can think of, as opposed to I'm gonna do this location one. I might get a few characters, it might not, it might just be me. So I think the meetups are really beneficial, and it's great to connect with too in the community.
Jasmine, have you ever got mistaken for another cosplay character while going to these events?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it's from the younger crowd. Like when I was to Shomru, they definitely called me Ayasha a couple times.
Right.
They were like, because when you're at conventions, they have we don't know each other most of the time, so you call each other by your character name. So they're like, Inuyasha, and I'm kind of like not listening because that's not who I was, and I was getting called Shomru all day, so that was like my name for the day. And then this kid like tapped me, he's like, hey, Inuyasha. I'm like, oh, hey, and I don't want to be rude, so I'm just like, hi, like, not Inuyasha, but hi. So yeah, that does happen, but that's I think that's just like an age thing. Like they know where I'm from, but they can't like put a finger on it.
That's understandable. There's always a little generational gap, especially when it comes to different characters, especially when they reintroduce characters also to generation. That's where a lot of people get confused. I mean, Easy and myself are a couple nerds ourselves, so like we know these like sort of transitions, but the really majority, and I'm very happy that Easy mentioned that in the beginning of this show, really don't know what you do when it comes to these characters. They may be thinking you're a completely different other person. And I went to one of these shows, these Terrificons. It's incredibly fun, but crazy at the same time. I know you guys have a lot when it comes to your costumes. Have you ever lost anything when it comes to these crazy events? Because there's so many people and it gets pushed inside. And when everything's opening up now, I know they're going to just jam pack these shows coming.
Not yet.
Not yet? Good.
No,
That's incredibly
knock on wood.
That's incredibly good. Knock on wood for that one.
Yeah, I'm actually really good at keeping up with my things. And they have like coat and purse checks, so I kind of keep my stuff in there. I've seen people lose things. Like me and my friend sat down to eat at a table, and there was like something at one of the chairs, and we're like, oh crap, is somebody sitting here? We waited like 10 minutes, nobody came back, so we sat and we're like, okay, somebody's stuff is here. And we ate, we sat there for like an hour, and the person never came back. And we told like one of the staff members, they're like, just take it. We're like, okay, you don't have a lost account. No, just take it. Like, got like giant anime backpack for free. I'm like, who left this here? This is expensive.
Well, it's interesting because these type of conventions are really massively chaotic. They've got a whole bunch of stuff going on at once. I've done security for a couple of these type of events, and the stuff that you see it can be mind blowing, but also just a rapid move and shake. And there's a lot of the back when I was going through it, the whole thing was only way you can get some good anime was in the bootleg aspects of it. Going to these different type of booths. To find, I remember one of the worst ones we'd ever gotten was the original live action Fantastic Four movie, which if you have not seen the original, that the thing is actually in the foam, then you haven't seen anything. I mean, it looks like it was shot on a camcorder. It was amazing, horrible, all in the same sentence.
You can find gems at conventions. I think I found I'm like a retro gamer, so I have Super Nintendo, and 64 at my house. That's what we like to play. So I found a duck hunting game at one of these conventions, and I told the guy, "Look, I'm not buying this unless you have the gun to match." Mm-hmm. He had the gun, so I ended up take my money. This is my childhood. Take my money. Mm-hmm. And it was super cheap. It was I think the set, I think I got it for $20. So.
That's not bad.
No, not at all. Not at all. I'd have charged you $45.
Yeah, I was he could have charged me anything at that point. Right, I was like, 20? I'm gonna take this before you say something else.
Absolutely, man. That's nostalgia at its finest, especially with the dog in the game. That was the best part of the whole entire game, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I can talk about that all day. I don't want to get on just talking about one video game. This is about you. But what is your ultimate dream cosplay? The ultimate dream, right? I know you do a whole bunch of stuff. You got something that you've been planning for a whole year, but what's the ultimate dream that you want to get down before you are done doing
it? I want to say it's the one I've been working on because it's just it's so detailed. So again, I'm a big Sailor Moon fan. So of course, if you have a favorite anime, you don't just do one cosplay on that anime. You kind of do 2 or 3. So this one, a lot of guys know this one from the recent YouTube verses. It's Sailor Galaxia. So she pretty much is the strongest Sailor Scout. She has similar powers to Lord Varys if you watch Dragon Ball Super. So she can deplete whole universes, whole planets, super strong, steal your gifts and use them and give them to her little minions. But she's super cleaned out, all gold, super bling details and everything. So that's why she's taking me so long. But she's a villain in the series. However, if you read the manga, you find out that originally she was just a regular Sailor Scout and then she got turned evil by something. So she's pretty bad. So
bad.
Yeah. I'm excited about her. She should be revealed later in this year. Fingers crossed if I finish her in time. But yeah, she's been taking me a while, but I'm excited about her. But probably after her, that question will probably be brought up again, and it probably will change after I'm finished with her. But for now, it's definitely her.
It's okay. But just one thing I just want to ask you, just do not rush this. Don't waste your time on it. Just don't rush it. Take your time with this. Make sure it's right. Your vision, not ours. So everything can be complete with this whole entire project that you it's crazy. It's not crazy is not the word. It's wonderful to see this whole world being so diverse. But what do you say to the naysayers when they say, "Oh, you not fit this character because of the color of your skin. You don't fit this character because you're a woman." What do you say to those naysayers now? Because we still have them. Everybody, wants everything to be all original back when it was before, but everything is changing. The world is changing when it comes to different characters. Right now, we have a Black Captain America now. Nobody ever thought we would see that. So what do you say to those naysayers, those toxic people?
I say, look up your history. Stop being so ignorant. Stop being so angry.
Right.
These characters are fictional, so they don't have a set color. That's the main thing. When they come to the anime cosplayers and they say, "Oh, well, this character isn't black," and I'm like, they're not either. they're not.
Not
They're
human.
Asian. So what are you getting at? Anybody can cosplay. That's the whole idea of it. It's where your imagination takes you. They're getting really heavy on TikTok with that, with telling certain people that this character is this color, or you're a black version of this, or recently I got called a monkey.
Wow.
A monkey Goku. So I'm like, well, he technically is a monkey, but I get what you're trying to do. So yeah, it's a lot. It's hard, but I don't let it get to me. Some people it hurts them a lot, but I'm just like, you're being really ignorant. I had to get somebody kicked out of Anime NYC because of this. Like they pretty much told me like this person isn't black, so you can't cosplay this character. And I literally was like, well, you're cosplaying an anime character, correct? They're Asian, correct? I have an Asian background, so you're technically in my culture if you want to be technical, but it's not about that. It's not about that. Anybody can cosplay what you want. So, a worker ended up overhearing him and kind of just like escorted him out, because they really don't play that type of things in conventions. Thank God. But yeah, I don't really let it get to me too much. I just think they're in a really negative space, and they just need to broaden their horizons, especially if you're watching anime, because anime has Black characters, white characters, Asian characters. Like sometimes I'll have like interchangeable characters, so I don't get why it's like that. Even with comic books, like they interchange Captain America, or I think Teen Titans, the old Starfire was black, and like like they always change up. So it's like it's never really a set skin color.
You're so right. Even in the foreseeable future, we're going to get a Black Superman movie soon. So in the works and in the progress. So everything is changing. And I'm very happy that you're really taking light and getting rid of those negative talk, and it's not really killing your self-esteem. So go forward with that whole mindset. But what surprised me, I didn't even know you were part Asian. That's the crazy part.
Yeah, a lot. It's funny because most of my, like, if you're like an acquaintance of mine or a colleague of mine, you won't really tell. People always say, "Oh, you have little eyes," but like a lot of Chinese people realize I am. Like it's weird. Like I had like the tour bus downtown New Haven. They like kind of came up to me one time and was like, "You have our eyes and our nose and our cheekbones, but you're black." And I'm like, yeah. But like, you guys were indentured servants and you went to Jamaica, and that's kind of how it happened. So like, yeah, I have like a great grandparent that was a full-blown Chinese man. So
nice. Great story to hear. With all the list of the cosplay characters that you've done, have you ever portrayed any male characters?
Yeah.
Besides Goku, I'm sorry.
I do Goku, which is not Preston's favorite, but I do Goku. I do Lord Shishomaru, do a gender bend of Lord Shishomaru. Soon I am gonna make him I do him as male, but soon I'm gonna change him into female. Just because his male costume is really hot. Like it gets super hot in that way. So I'm gonna give him a skirt. It should be fun. I think any other male? Right now, I don't think so. I think everybody else is a girl. In the future, I do have some more gender bends planned, but right now, I'm just doing girls for now.
Any cosplay horror stories?
A lot of us cosplayers like to tell other cosplayers, when you go to conventions, please bring deodorant. Please bring spray. It gets smelly in there really fast because there's so many people. And everybody's running around, so people get sweaty. People playing video games, and they get excited, so they sweat, things like that. So yes, that's the only horror, is that sometimes you walk in and it things really, really badly. Or sometimes you work on something and it might fall off at the convention. You're like, I gotta go back to my room and hot glue this back on or sew this back on. But nothing too bad. Nothing too bad. It's mostly fun.
Well, tell me more about the fun. You ever recreate any scenes when you get to at the conventions? Any anime fights that you recreate? You know what I'm saying? Since you dressed as Goku and just other characters with, play swords and stuff. I know there's a lot of fun when it comes to these conventions.
Yeah, I actually have a couple battle scenes with one of my friends. He's Waynesboro 30 on Trunks, and another one of my friends, AJ, he cosplays as Master Roshi. So we have a few fighting scenes with that. I have a couple sword fighting scenes when I was Lord Shishomaru with a bunch of different characters. They weren't even like the same anime. I think it was like a Naruto character, maybe a couple of Sailor Moon characters when I was Lord Shishomaru. I found a few Inuyasha characters, but we kind of just took pictures together. We didn't really do any scenes. The next day, when I was somebody different, I found like all the other Inuyasha characters, which sucks, which is why meetups are important, and you should look at the schedule because I would have had more people to have fun with. Yeah, I had a few sword fights with a bunch of different characters. Those are always fun. I'm not too good at the sword. Like I'm building them now, so I kind of have to learn, but I'm not too good at building them yet. I'll get there.
On that, I can actually offer my services. I'm a phenomenal swordsman. Something that I'm very well crafted in. Sometimes, look, I'm a musician, so that's my art, but sometimes violence is my art, and I like to be very artful. But that's one of the things also I wanted to mention too, is what you're doing is an art form. And art is 100% subjective. And you know that you're moving forward and doing something right in that art form when you have those people that are speaking negative. And I love how you've taken that negativity and been able to say it in that positive light, but also please know that that is because you are doing things the right way and you're making waves enough to be recognized. And that is an accomplishment unto itself.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. I didn't even look at it like that. That is definitely a great way to look at it. But I definitely would take you with that offer because I can't go the sword too good. I could block you. That's about it.
I got you. And I have swords at the house. It's fine. Fake, not like foam ones and stuff like that. Not the real ones anymore. I have a court order.
Okay, yeah, because we
can't
bring the real ones.
We talked about swords on WNHH LP 103.5 FM New Haven. Myself, Prestige, and my partner in crime, Long Island Rays, Elm City Made, Easy Bluez is in the building with Empress Jasmine, who purposely wore this Goku suit because I always bash her about how Goku is one of the worst characters ever in the whole entirety of existence. I'm a Vegeta. But
he is the best character ever, and Preston will never acknowledge that. He wants Vegeta to win, and it's not happening.
It makes sense. Preston is usually on the losing end of an argument of what's better. It's fine.
Wow.
Exactly.
But let's talk about the winning side. You got a whole bunch of fans right here on Behind the Brand, Jasmine. You got Phil Jordan, you got Cassandra, you got Wendell Wayne, a whole bunch of people from the anime groups commenting and showing you love on here. You got Ali who praised Goku, and we got our good friend Fireman who's watching right now, right here on Behind the Brand on WNHH.
So the first 3 to 4 people you named are people from the cosplay community. So hi guys, I love you.
And we want to give a big old shout out to Phil who's listening right now. Who says Vegeta is the true hero. Thank you, Phil. I appreciate you.
First, Phil, I will beat you with your half of your own sword. Okay, he's the one who helped me make this. I will beat you.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay,
but it's funny because he loves Vegeta. He loves Vegeta, but he found out that Goku was an Aries and he's an Aries, so now he's jumping shit. So don't even do that.
Wow.
Don't do that.
Jasmine.
Hold on. Let's not walk past the fact that you just threatened to beat someone with a sword who you've already said you're not really that good as a sword person. So is that really like a threat, or is that kind of like I'm a tickly? Like I'm not sure.
The reason she did that because she's playing low key with it. She's really nice with the sword. She practices low key when she's off social media and everything, just with the whole programs. Saying that's when she's crazy with the sword.
I have a video on my page of me and Phil actually like yelling at each other and sword fighting and Demon Slayer cosplay. So that's just what we do.
Now you run a whole cosplay.
We'll get my skills better with Dustin, and I'll beat Phil outside.
Oh Lord, oh Lord! I almost forgot what I was about to say, but let's get back to the question. You run a whole internet cosplay group. Now, is this more than one group that you're administrative of when it comes to connecting with the whole anime community? But go right ahead.
I'm the admin. The group I got added to. I ended up becoming an admin of that one on Instagram. It's just like a group message. Anybody can join. We're really tight knit in there. We talk about any and everything, and we definitely support each other. As you can see, they're here supporting me now. Some of them are here supporting me now. I run cosplay all day ! On Facebook. So that's like the only big group that I join. Anybody can join. You just have to answer questions correctly. It's only 3 easy questions, and you get right in. There's me, myself, Cassandra, is the admins, and our friend Zenas, who's a moderator. So you get somebody from Connecticut, Jersey, and DC running that page. So it's pretty cool. We try to stay up on all things cosplay, on up and coming conventions. We try to share other people's work. We definitely try to support each other. So if you want to join that page, just send the request in. I try to invite people all day, but definitely send a request in and we'll approve you. Just answer the questions. They're really easy. You can probably Google them. They're really easy questions.
Jasmine, what do you say to very young girls? Let's just say like little kids, girls who want to look up to you, want to be just like you when they get to a certain age and become future cosplayers. What do you say to that perspective?
Definitely do what you want to do. Don't let anybody change your mind on that. You can be inspired by other people. Definitely wear whatever you want to wear, be whichever character you want to be. Don't let anybody stop you. Do what you love, and you'll be extremely happy for doing it. Like it'll show through your cosplays. Do what you love. I've had a couple kids come up to me at conventions and was like the best thing of the convention. Like forget sword fighting, forget the pictures. Like this little girl going, "You are the prettiest Sailor Moon," is like the best thing to me. So yeah, definitely do what you want, kids. Do it when you're an adult. Don't let anybody say, "Oh, you're too old to do this." Do it. Have fun. And it doesn't matter. People who tell you you're too old to do something are really grumpy individuals.
It's absolutely true. Light bulb, easy, go right ahead.
Well, this is. I kind of want to make this transition. I hope this lands at home for all the listeners. Although we have become more accepting as a mass society, slowly but surely, we are starting to come to these aspects. To be able to have a space that is free to be whatever you want to be is so, so, so important. We are constantly told in society, you can only be A, B, C, D. That's what you have to do. We constantly get up to punch that clock because that's what we're supposed to do. So what you're talking about here really should be the life practice. I hope people take that into their life of it is okay to be your true self. It is okay to be whatever you want to be. It is okay to identify however you want to identify because it's the you that's important, and I hope that, those girls can, and those people and everyone can really, really see the beauty of that. You guys have this amazing community that is accepting no matter what. And not everybody has that. And it's beautiful. And I hope it transitions into the rest of society.
I hope little boys do it too, because a lot of boys they'll come to conventions, but they won't cosplay. They're like, nah, it's a girl thing. No, it's not. You can cosplay any boy character you want. You can cosplay girl. I've seen people gender bend girl characters and it looks better in the boy version than the original girl form. So definitely be who you want to be, no matter girl, boy, whatever. The boys, to me, as far as crafting, make the most incredible things out of EVA foam. You would think it was full metal when they're finished. And it is not. I've seen whole Iron Man suits made out of foam. So
I was really about to say that. Like you see, I saw one person. He had like those old like Zords from Power Rangers way back in the day, like from like the early 1990s to mid 1990s. Those shows. And one person built the whole entire Zord. And for people who don't know what I'm talking about, it's like this big robot that they built to save the world. And it was like 12 feet tall, but I really felt like I was like planted in that television show. Just the amount of detail they put in it, just like you said earlier in this broadcast, Jasmine, is just amazing. People really care about what they do when it comes to cosplay.
And that opens the door for people to, I know some people who started doing that, and then now they design costumes for movies and plays and things like that. Also, there's other cosplayers who may not build things, but they're really good at embodying the character, and they might get a job with WB doing some promo, like, or any station. You might be featured on a website. So it's like, look, your fun brought you some money. That's always great, especially if you're an adult doing this.
Well, and it's, I don't know if everyone remembers, but when the X-Men reboot did the Apocalypse movie, I remember the cons before the Apocalypse was revealed. The costuming was better played by the cosplayers than by the actual Hollywood production. It looked so much better. It was so much more believable that they actually had to go back in and re-CGI the Apocalypse initially, because everyone's like, we did it better. We're not going to allow you to give us garbage. So we're not going to tolerate that.
You can't, with today's internet, you can't even do that anymore. Like, they take over. Like, I think when the Sonic movie was coming out and they put out that really crappy Sonic character, and the internet was like, look, mine is better. Everybody's like re-digitizing it, and it's like, these look better. So it's like they kind of have to hire these people now.
So by just saying that, you really feel those voices are getting heard when it comes to the production and TV characters that they love so much better now than it was before?
Definitely, because I think before social media, we just had to deal with whatever they gave us, and it was like, this movie's coming out, and we might see a preview, and then we're like, oh, okay, and we go see it, and we're like, this was good, but my cousin made this better, Polaroids or printouts.
Mortal Kombat 2.
I guess we got to deal with it. I guess we got to go buy the VHS. I guess we got to go buy the DVD. I guess we got to go buy the Blu-ray. Yeah, but now we're like, we're not settling. You're gonna have to make it better, or we're not going.
Exactly.
Or one of the best things I like, what a lot of the Blur community is doing now. What I see from the Blur community is doing now is just recreating their own movies, recreating their own TV shows of what they like, which I see is like full production movies and like little TV series they have on YouTube and other social media platforms that I figure are really cool and creative. So if you don't like the movie, you can go to another source, to another local, team to see them do it through their own vision, which I think is really, really, really cool and creative. And you never know, since you want to play that Sailor Moon villain so much, and since we're going to see that costume in the foreseeable future, you could have your old show, maybe like a little origin story of the whole entire series of what you want to do. Bring your own vision to that. Maybe you might pique interest of a big time movie studio or a movie company in the foreseeable future. You do not know. You cannot know what may hold, Jasmine.
Yeah, I know, definitely. I would love that. I had a few things lined up for 2020, and then Corona kind of just like knocked everything out the park. Like, I was supposed to work with Capcom and like a few other people. I was supposed to do Chun-Li. Wow. So I'm just like, you're ruining me. But it's all right. I'll get back to it.
Well, when Hollywood does come calling, remember that your stunt team needs to be there, and that's your stunt coordinator and your stunt dummy.
Wow. Oh, no. Okay, easy. I'll keep that. Stunt has a beard now, easy. A beard and glasses. How you feel, easy, Bluez?
No, it's just funny to me. I love, man, I love the reaction live. And if I can get you to just, get a little bit of that stutter in and laugh, man, I know I'm doing a good show.
It is a great show, Jasmine. I love having you on, but unfortunately, we only got like 4 minutes of the broadcast. I know you have a lot of events and a lot of stuff coming up. I know this year is in just a little bit of slowdown pause, just because everybody's getting vaccinated. Want to make sure everybody's right and safe when it comes to having these events again. And me stuttering like I always am. But what are your plans for the future, Jasmine? You can say more plans now. And also, I want you to know everything when it comes to your social media and just different stuff coming up. So this time is yours. Go right ahead.
Okay. So my next convention that I'm going to will be BlurCon in Virginia. It's July 16th through the 18th.
Okay.
So that one's pretty safe. They're making everybody get vaccinated. You have to show up with your card, or else you won't even get it, even if you paid. And they still allow you to wear masks on top of having to be vaccinated. So it's pretty safe. So that one's in July. So that's where I'll be next as far as conventions. They're still seeing about, I think they're going through with Terrificon this year in Connecticut. So I may go to that because that one's like literally my birthday weekend. So that's towards the end of July, early August. So I may go to that one if they're still having it. And then Anime NYC, that's later in the year, probably like November. Don't quote me wrong. It's probably November. I'm definitely going to go to that one. That one's like my favorite one. So those will be the next few things that I'm doing. And I'll be fully vaccinated in 2 weeks. I'll get my second shot. My social medias. Okay. So I have a Twitch and a TikTok, both with the same name, Empress Jasmine, with #1 at the end. And Instagram and Facebook, Empress Jasmine, just regular. So those are all my social media platforms. Those are all the ones I have. Twitter, I believe the same name, Empress Jasmine. So those are everything you can reach me on. I'm mostly on Instagram. I do a lot of TikToks. So Instagram and TikTok are more likely your best bet if you want to reach me. I do my Facebook and others, but I get to those kind of later. And my Facebook group is Cosplay All Day.
Definitely. Jasmine, thank you for being a part of Behind the Brand. You got a lot of comments right here. So many to read. One person loves your whole Dragon Ball chain drip. And we also got a whole bunch of fire comments with your costume. Thank you for being a part of the show. Myself, Prestige, and my partner in crime, Long Island Rays, Elm City Made East in the building. Jasmine, anything you got coming up, please let us know. We'll love to have you on again on NHHLP 103.5 FM, New Haven. Appreciate you, Jasmine. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.